It is 8 o'clock in the east. What is it? 5 o'clock in the west. You already know what it is. Like we come to y'all every other Monday. It is around the way with Stacks and Nick J. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off to my co-host. I just want to know how your weekend was, how your Monday was. Talk to me.
My weekend was great. Um, Kicked it with my babe, and so that's always very nice. Deeply in love. And I did
Congratulations.
laundry.
You just what?
Did you say congratulations?
You said deeply in love. I mean, great. A lot of people don't got love.
That's
A
true.
lot of people ain't got a baby to
Yeah.
kick it with over the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yes, I had a very good weekend. How was yours?
It was alright. I mean, I worked most of it, but hey, it is what it is. I got a chance to relax yesterday. I mean,
Turn your head to the side
I wa-
again.
singing.
Turn your head to the side. Okay. Looking at you, checking out your lineup. That's all.
Oh, it's alright.
Yeah.
It's I. But
You got your hair. It's all swizzled out and all of that. I dig it.
yeah, I got you know what, and I think I got the good hair out of all my brothers at least because I ain't got no thinning going on and I ain't really been able to grow it out since I got out of the military. So you know, just letting that joint kind of grow out.
Yeah, I hear
So
about that.
yeah, I worked
Yeah.
I didn't work yesterday, but I did work Saturday and but all in all it was still a great week and I got to relax yesterday and to me, like I'm a homebody, I don't really have to go nowhere. So me just chilling here, relaxing in my man cave was just good enough for me. That's what I did yesterday. And got right back to it got right back to work today. It was a
Mhm.
trying day, but I got through. Before we get into the shits, we want to shout out the whole guys podcast squad. Uh, Sean, Mark, Merv, Tazon, Becca, Tina B. Am I missing anybody? And everybody out there that been rocking with us. We want to shout out everybody on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, people that's viewing us on Blackjack TV, channel 199, Bobby Blackjack come through. Everybody, all our partners in the background, everybody that been rocking with us since day one. We appreciate you all. Shout out to Blast Music as well. They I think it's about time to kick this thing off. So what I want to do, what up Facebook user? We're going to kick this thing off unfortunately Nick on a
Somber
somber
note.
note. Yeah.
Oh,
So we lost a real one today. Paul Sorvino died at the age of I want to say he was 87. No,
that's
he's
right. Work
83, my
that
bad.
math muscle.
83. He was 83. And man, it's funny because when I saw this today, I was like, man, my guy's going because Goodfellas is one of my
It's a
favorite movies of all time.
really good movie.
And
Yeah.
the two main things he's famous for, in my opinion, is Goodfellas and his role Law and Order. You also seen him in movies such as well you seen he's in the series Godfather of Harlem. He's also in Money Talks, Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen, and also he was a coach in Mister 3000 with the late great Bernie Mac.
Mm.
Uh, I it's to me seems to me that he. Do you think he was in a? I don't think he was in a lot of mob movies. What do you think?
You said it seems like he was.
Like he seemed like he should have been more.
Oh, well,
He just
mob
has
movies
that
seem to
face.
be. They seem to be. Well, yeah. He has the tough face. Um.
You know what, man? And that's one.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking this is. I think I'm almost positive this is Mark. Shout out to the homie Mark out there. But yeah, you're right, man. Wow, you know what?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Ray Liotta, Tony Sister. I don't want to screw up his name, but yeah, all of these guys
That's
are
Paulie
prompt.
Walnuts, right?
Say again.
Paulie Walnuts, right? With the
I
from the
believe so,
Sopranos.
but all of these guys have died within the last couple of months, and yeah, Ray Liotta. I
Yeah.
think has it even been a month yet since Ray Liotta? Man. But yeah, man, that was man, when that came across my feed today, I was like, man, that was a tough one. Because
Yeah.
that's my guy. That was my guy. Like I said, Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies of all time. So rest in power, Paul Sorvino, dead at 83. So what we're gonna move on to next is we're gonna go some new music that's dropping this Friday. And I know we talked about a couple of weeks ago. I think we talked about the song that dropped. What's going on, Tazon? But
Hey.
the reason I want to bring this up today because this album comes out on Friday, Renaissance, and I don't know about you, Nick, but the hive buzzing already today. It's like they can't wait till Friday. It's like they out there, and woe be unto you if you make some bad comments about this album. Now y'all know the Bayhive. Y'all know the Bayhive is up there with MAGA as far as annoyance and people that will come for you if you talk about Beyonce.
Yeah,
And you know what? I'm sorry if I offended you, but because you look like you got some Bayhive tendencies. I won't hold that against you. But speak on it, Nick. What you think about this album coming out?
I'm excited about it. Yeah, like because everything around it is like such a mystery. You're like trying to figure out, what Renaissance is. Is it going to be, strictly like a reemergence of like that dance and house music scene, like the 90s dance era. Um and so I'm interested, very much so.
Right. I know.
I'll probably be up at midnight. So
I know enough to know to not say nothing directly against the Bayhive. If the album is trash, I'm not even going to say nothing because I don't want nobody, coming for me, breaking into my house and trying to get to me because I talk about the album. So I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna listen to it. I will leave all criticisms and comments to myself. I mean, but I mean it's Beyonce, so I mean, what y'all think we gonna get? So we're gonna go this way next, and this really made my heart. This really filled my heart because I really did think
Filled your heart with
that
glee.
we had no chance. Team USA Women's 4x1 relay team upsets the Jamaicans at the World Championships. Now now we know that we go back and forth with the Jamaicans, but I mean this is a huge upset simply because the Jamaicans had Elaine Thompson Hare, Shelly Ann Fraser, and Shakira Jackson, and Kimber Nelson. That was their relay team. Pretty solid relay team. I don't even know how many losses they have total, but what I will tell you is that this was an upset of epic proportions, and I will say as well that the upset was almost not pulled off. I don't know if you saw the
I
clip.
didn't. Which is crazy because
Well,
I love track and field.
Say again?
I said it's crazy because I love track and field.
Yeah, the thing is, track and field is my thing as well, but I really haven't had a chance to really sit down and watch the World Championships that have been going on this past week. But if this race was like 1 to 2 meters longer, the Jamaicans would have won because the Americans got out to a really good lead the first and second leg, and they still had a pretty good lead going into the anchor leg. But boy, that would have been a so embarrassing because if you're in the track and field, the worst thing that can happen is you getting walked down on any type of relay. And the Jamaicans almost successfully pulled the walk down. I'm glad they didn't. it wouldn't have mattered to me because if I'm not rooting for the Americans, I'm rooting for the Jamaicans anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it is. So but it was a really good race. Not honorable mention, but Sydney McLaurin. She is the world record holder in the 400-meter hurdles. I want to mention her simply because she shattered the world record she just broke at this past Olympics, and the significance of that is her time for the 400-meter hurdles, the race which she won with hurdles, would have been 7th in the world in the open 400 for women. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So at this point, she's just racing against the clock. So shout out to
like that.
Shout out to Team USA. You know, and the men's did pretty well. As they had a couple of they had some wins on the men's side as well. But I just wanted to mention the relay team and Sydney because they're doing their thing. Okay, the next thing we're gonna go into is Bo knows charity and compassion as he covers the funeral costs for the shooting victims for Uvalde. So, give me 1 second. So, according to Governor Abbott in Texas, Bo Jackson donated $170,000 funeral expenses to the 21 victims of the school shootings in Uvalde. This is huge. I wanted to mention this because this is absolutely huge. Bo Jackson did not have to do this. And this is just really that's still ongoing, by the way. And what's amazing to me, Nick, is that I don't think any law enforcement official or police chief, I don't think anybody's been fired yet. And I think it's been going on 2 months now.
It's weird. It's bizarre. The more things that like come out about this whole shooting and the reaction or or non-reaction and all the things that like police did, the so-called good guys with a gun, it's bizarre.
Well, the funny thing about it is I saw this video and like you said, it seems like every time we get more, I wish they would stop putting out information because every single time since this thing has happened, when they've put out more information, it's just made the situation worse. Now they put out this video where we saw law enforcement. Now I have one of my very best friends has been in law enforcement in 20 years, and he was very disgusted by the video, and he was saying that if you respond first, regardless of the situation, you signed up to be a police officer, much like in the military. If you go to war and stuff like that. So protocol is if there's an active shooter, you go in, regardless of the situation, even if you're by yourself. But the person that comes in responds. So we watched the video where we watched multiple gun and law enforcement officers. It seemed like there was a lack of leadership, lack of operational control, and you remember on Reno 911. That's what I'm sorry, man, but that's what those cops remind me of because you hear the shots, right?
That is a silly show.
And you see the damn cops like running back the other way or whatever. And you see cops on the phone. You see one like using hand sanitizer, and all the while,
that's so insulting.
Yeah, all the while, kids are getting killed, and I just don't tolerate excuses from law enforcement and for military because both elements are supposed to be highly trained. And to me, I don't know, it just seems kind of funny to me that and it happens in the military too, where people want to have on their uniform and look all cool and look like a badass and that shit, but when it's time to spring into action, some of them dudes ain't really built like that. And I was talking to my friend who's been in law enforcement for 20 years, and he said that there's a lot of cops out there like that. And he said there's a lot of them that he's had to check, some that he's refused to work with.
Mm.
which is wild. So I don't know. I don't
Sad.
want to revisit that Uvalde stuff again because all it does is really piss me off. So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
what I get into next is, and I'll let you take the lead on
And
this.
speaking of being pissed off,
Mm,
so recently a warrant from the 50s, I believe, was found in the county courthouse down and I'm sorry, the warrant was for Carolyn Dunham. And this, of course, is the woman who said that Emmett Till, a 14-year-old young man, whistled at her. And, you know, I don't know what the South thinks of Mississippi, but up here in the North, we're like told that like Mississippi is one of the most racist places on earth. Like, don't go down there. Just leave Mississippi alone. If if you got to go through Mississippi, take the main roads and don't stop. And so I'm saying this to say, at any rate, I don't know if it is or if it isn't, but the time and the place, she knew what was going to happen. And so there was a warrant for her arrest. And there have been movements over the years anyway for her to be held accountable for her role in the murder of that child, Emmett Till. And it just never comes to fruition, unfortunately. So now the movement has been like revived nationwide with this warrant being found. She she's like in her 80s. I don't care.
yeah,
Like,
she's 87 or something like that.
yeah, I watched this documentary on Netflix, and it was about this Nazi war criminal, and he was like in his 80s and he still got arrested,
Damn right,
for his
as he
crimes, as
should.
he should have. So, like, sorry, could you say that again? Okay, you raise your hand on this thing and she thinks you're talking to her. But so she's got to go.
Well,
Somebody has got to be held accountable for what happened to this baby, because that's what it was.
yeah, and for those of you
A
that's
gang of men,
yeah,
dragging him out of his home and into the river and all. That's crazy.
and for
That's
those of you that's been living under a rock for the last for your lives, Emmett Till was lynched in 1955, I think August time frame when this was back in the day when literally any offense to white people by black people could be met with certain death, and he was accused to Carolyn. I guess her name is Carolyn Bryant now, and
yeah.
he was brutally. Uh, his body was dismembered with his face, and what led Emmett Till, well, his death to being what made him like a civil rights legend, whereas his mother insisted on an open casket funeral
Mamie
so
Till
that
Mobley.
the world could see what was done to his son unjustifiably. And this was the norm. This was, I mean, 1955 wasn't that long ago. It's not even 60 years. Uh, this was the norm where you could lose your life as a black person for offending somebody that's white, and that wasn't that long ago. So I say, I don't give a damn if she was 187 years old. Bring her ass up on charges because now she's trying. She wrote in her memoirs that she tried to I don't know if
The
you heard this. She wrote in her memoirs that she tried to save Emmett Till. I'm thinking of, I don't believe that shit for 1 minute. Um, and if she did, I mean, I think she would have told that story a long time ago, so the men that lynched him would have been brought to justice. But that's not what happened. And I just, and I don't want to go off of this tangent, but I'm still seeing things today whereas crime is viewed differently of course, it was way loose back then. I mean, you could kill multiple black people and you just go home like ain't shit happened. But
Also, Oklahoma.
we see it. Yeah, just like Tulsa, like a whole black.
Because they accused, that something,
Yeah,
salacious happened in the elevator.
yeah, and that those things are still happening today simply because this is what I see. Crime is viewed differently based on the hue of the individual that's committing the crime. For instance, and I don't want to get too political, but like January 6th. January 6th. Like I know a lot of people who I served with, a lot of white people that I know that thinks that there was no crimes committed that day and there was much ado about nothing. And the main comparison that if you bring up January 6th, the main thing that is always brought up is the George Floyd protests and the rioting, looting, and all that stuff, which gave me pause as well to say, the perspectives. It's funny how perspectives are, because they're looking at a fight for the right to just be equal and live as a black person. They're looking at that. They're comparing that to pretty much trying to overthrow the government. And people will run me up and down and say, and I've talked to a lot of people I've been stationed with and served with, and I found out a lot about them simply because they see nothing wrong, and people literally died that day. So it just gave me pause to say, like, do we have like some white people out there that they view crime differently? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you could commit the same crime as a white woman, and I can guarantee you can do 2 focus groups, and
100%.
It will be looked at totally different. What's your take on that?
So first, I want to say I was at the protest here in Philly, and I saw who was breaking the windows. It wasn't us. Now what took place after the windows, is different, but it was not us. It was a lot of, I'll just say it was a lot of white people, in masks and things, dressed in all black and all of that. So it's easier to say, oh, well, black people were doing this, but the truth may not. First of all, it doesn't matter, like in Emmett Till and Tulsa, and in whatever, whatever, all of these cases where people are being killed by the police, it doesn't matter what the so-called offense was, if it happened or if it didn't, it don't matter. Like the law was very racist back then. And supposedly we have come further from that, but yet and still they don't want to, hold this woman accountable for what she did. And they'll tell you, oh, well, that was so long ago, we've come so far. Well, fucking prove it, because this bitch is still at her home, doing all kinds of whatever, living her life as she's had, for the last few decades, well, more than a few. And she just, it's some bullshit. Throw that bitch away. And I usually don't talk about this about elders, but man, fuck her.
I agree.
Like, how could she live with herself, like knowing? Some people don't have no conscience. Never mind, that was a dumb question.
Well, I mean, hell should be her final home. Because I mean, it's like I said, man. I don't know how somebody can even hold something like that. How can somebody can live with themselves with that? But I mean, there are some very evil people in this world.
100%.
Hopefully, she get what's coming to her. Unfortunately, she's lived her life. She's pushing fucking 90. She's 87 years old. So she'll be judged. She'll be judged. Maybe not in a court of her peers or nothing like that. But she'll be judged when she get when she closes her eyes for one final time. But yeah, hopefully she does get fucking put in jail.
Something's got to happen.
Yeah. So.
In other idiotic news.
Yo. Hey yo, this is the political versus right here. Herschel Walker versus Raphael Warnock. Now, I did a little research on that. I mean, because as most of you know, I like this. I like this political shit. So, Herschel Walker is he won his primary, and he's going to be the opponent for Raphael Warnock for a Senate position in the state of Georgia, which Georgia's kind of purple right now, and they're trying to solidify to make it blue. I hate to be biased. Well, I'm not going to be biased because I officially consider myself an independent. But
yeah, throw the two-party system away.
Yeah, please do. But it's just going to be funny. Mark posted this in sports and shit, and I told he know me. I'm going to be ringside because Herschel Walker is going to be hilariously idiotic, and I want to be there when it happens. Now, when politics were normal, Herschel Walker would not even be running for office because he's a wife beater. He has these mental health issues. He's had suicidal ideology and all that stuff. I'm sorry. And somebody might say, "Oh, he has suicidal ideology." If you play Russian roulette, I'm sorry, you have suicidal ideology. I'm just going to call it what it is. You can.
I remember that story.
Or say whatever the fuck it is. And he's a woman beater. Come to find out, he had a side kid out there. So, under normal circumstances, he wouldn't have never ran. But Trump Nation has changed all that, where there's literally no standards. All you have to do is say the election was stolen. Say you support Trump and do so while holding a gun, and you're going to be the lead candidate for the Republican Party. Raphael Warnock, on the other hand, he's a reverend, really good dude. Hate to be biased, but this shouldn't be a contest. I don't know why it is, but there's no guarantee we're going to get debates because I thought they had them scheduled, but apparently Raphael Warnock has committed to doing 3. Herschel Walker hasn't said whether he's going, because they don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Herschel Walker hasn't said yet whether he is going to. He hasn't said yet whether he's going to debate, but he probably won't because he did not debate the primary opponent, which he still won. But what are your main thoughts on this? Because it just seems like it's a mess. I think Herschel Walker can win too. That's the fucked up thing about it.
He can. You know, people are idiots. People are dumb. You know, this guy said, what was that dumb shit he said about Chinese air or something?
Yes.
About the Chinese polluting us. I forget. You know, when it is true that, that air, travels around or whatever, but that was the way he said it was just very idiotic. Have you seen the video of his son being an ass in I think it was a Starbucks?
I didn't see that. You're gonna have to put me on to that.
Oh, his son, Christian Walker, was he was in line at a Starbucks and he was like carrying on and trying to pull up the thing. Anyway, he and so he's like, apparently he's known to the people at this store, and he's like, just mouthing off, like a little chihuahua, like two cars down, and then like the baristas were like complaining about him, and then Kilani, the singer, she says, yeah, watch out for that guy, he's like an asshole. And so I don't know if he heard it or what, but she gets her things, and gets her beverage, and then goes to park and drink it. So he goes up to her and knocks on her window and like confronts her about calling him an asshole and all of this stuff. And it's just weird. And then, so then you see the video from his, from the beginning, from his, like, because he's recording the whole time. He didn't record the asshole thing, but he recorded the confrontation. So the whole time he is in line at that store in his car, they have a pride flag up, and he is like complaining, oh, well, why do they have this flag up but they don't have the American flag? I'm gonna give them this, I'm gonna offer them to bring to put an American flag up, so because they want to have this flag, they can also have an American flag up. So he gets to the first window, the ordering window, and he's like, um, well, can I give you guys a flag? And it's just really weird. I don't want to pigeonhole or, but he was talking. He seemed very effeminate. I don't want to guess, if his sexuality or identity or anything, but I that's how he sounded. It was just bizarre. It was strange. And so if, obviously the apple does not fall too far from the tree, because that was so weird.
Chip off something he chip off the old crazy as fuck block to me, because boy, fucking, and Herschel Walker's always been crazy as fuck, even when he was a football star, at the University of Georgia, USFL, and when he played for the sound about right though. He used to be a Dallas Cowboy, so yeah, that makes sense. So
shout out to Sean.
So yeah, man, I cannot believe we're only 30 minutes in.
Yeah, so
we're only 30 minutes in, and we're
rolling.
We're already at our main topic, and I think we're going to spend a long time on this though. So I'm just going to give y'all this to let y'all know exactly what we'll be talking about. Hold on one second, I got something for y'all.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. Good friends we have, and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say.
That was fucking amazing.
Shit's powerful as fuck, man. Hey, you know what? The worst thing about that trailer is when you're watching it and how amazing it is, and at the end where it says November, because you wish you can go see the shit tomorrow. But
Yeah, because we've waited a while, and like the details, then we didn't even know how soon it was going to come out, because the actress who plays Shuri, she wasn't into like the COVID vaccination thing, so there was a lot of, so I am glad to see that it is back, and I'm already working on my Wakanda opening night, or excuse me, Black Panther opening night outfit. So
yeah, it to me the trailer was very powerful. Man, I don't want to bring a negative into it. We're not going to talk about that yet. But what I want to talk about is the element of black excellence, because we all know how we felt when Black Panther came out. We all went out to the movies. We do what we do. We went out we dressed up. We got we took it back to a lot of us took it back to the motherland. We went to go see Black Panther. It was a really good time. Especially for our kids, because
absolutely,
when we were growing up, we didn't get the opportunity to see that many black superheroes, and just to have an entire movie where it shows black excellence, a land where black people are ruling, they're thriving, they have the best technology and all that stuff. And of course, you had the idiots that felt a type of way about that, but I thought it was something that was needed at the time that Black Panther came in. And now, I mean, and when Chad Boseman died, it was heartbreaking to everybody, because that was our Black Panther. We had every expectation to see him in the second movie and all that stuff, and now we got Wakanda Forever coming, and he's not going to be in it. But I just can't wait for the movie to come out. I will be there opening night. There's not much movies I really go to the movies to see, let alone opening night. But that's one I got to be there for. That, and I went to Endgame because of the significance of that as far as Marvel Universe. But man, what else do you have to say about the trailer before we go into the? We got to talk about some of the comments and something that was said by a very prominent, to me, I think a very prominent member of the black community.
So first of all, shout out to M'Baku, because
that be your dude.
Let me tell you something. Like, and I thought, I didn't think I was alone, of course, but like, he has a very strong following. I'm talking about M'Baku, the character. That, I mean, from the minute he came out, they came out in them gorilla masks, and it was like, oh, be still my heart. But a lot, and this is also a beauty. Not only is it like a pride moment for like black folks, indigenous Mexicans are also celebrating, because you turn up on any of the Spanish language channels, you watch any novela, and it's all gonna be like white Mexicans, white Colombians, white, you know what I'm saying? And so it's and native, or darker, black people are relegated to like slaves or maids or drug dealers. So so they are very much they're celebrating the addition of trying to remember his name, but he's playing Namor. He played Rafa in Narcos, which, okay, he did play a drug dealer, but he also I don't want to mess up this guy's name. It's Tenoch. If sometimes indigenous names aren't what they look like. But his last name is Huerta. So it it's really nice to see that's bringing a pride moment for them as well. Um anyway, he's playing what is his name? I can't remember the king of the Atlanteans.
Hmm. Okay. And I wonder when it's coming. I wonder if it probably will come out. They just said November. So more than likely, what you're thinking of Thanksgiving? Probably a Thanksgiving time frame type release
No,
date.
it's
Or is that
11/11.
Oh, it did I didn't see the 11/11 on there. Okay.
Yeah, there was a poster in it with the mask, and it just said 11/11. It's on the
Okay.
official
So
Marvel page, so
Veterans Day.
it is
Okay.
legit.
Awesome. 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 So we're not going to end it on a negative note, but we do have to talk about the critics how the trailer was criticized by Dr. Boyce Watkins. For those of you that don't know Dr. Boyce Watkins, he's a author, a political analyst, social influencer. I think he was a professor as well. He's well known on social media. To me, he's pretty prominent. He's always talking about black empowerment and stuff like that. But he had some pretty controversial things to say about the trailer. I'm going to read it because I didn't post a picture for this because the picture was kind of small. So he says, I was super hyped about the movie Black Panther. It was well done, and I love the work of director Ryan Coogler. But when I saw the trailer for Black Panther 2, I admit that it felt like a chick flick. Black men are missing all throughout the trailer, turning the film into an empowerment infomercial for the local Girl Scouts. As a father of daughters, I am 100% in support of the idea of my daughters being empowered to take on the world, but I don't want them to think they have to shave their heads and fight like men in order to show their feminine power. Well. I'm going to turn this over to you because you told. Yeah, I know that you felt some type of way when he made this comment. So the floor is yours.
It's just really, really annoying. Like, if you look at, I'm sorry, my eye is itching. I've been scratching it all through this thing. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's allergies or what. But you look at like the number of black girls in STEM careers. Like, there's not a whole lot of us, represented. Black people, but black girls especially. And so we look at Shuri and now Riri Williams, who was the character, another one in the trailer. They're both tech geniuses. So that's amazing. That is inspiring. Um we see T'Challa's mother, and she's like encouraging her people, but she's also talking about what she's lost, but to me it was framed, she's also kind of like pushing her people like, okay, we're not gonna stop here, we're not gonna let this defeat us. So
Right.
that's beautiful. We see I cannot remember her name in the movie. The woman from The Walking Dead. We see
General.
her,
What are you talking about? Yeah.
she's a leader of the army, and I think that people became more aware of this after that movie, which is beautiful. And before Benin was called Benin, it was called Dahomey or Dahomey, and it and the king's personal guard were women, and they were the toughest, warriors. They could move with the best of them. And so I just don't. This is from history. You know, Majority of Black Americans in this country whose ancestors were kidnapped and brought over here in captivity. We can, if we could, that was taken from us too, but if we could, we would see that our lineages are mostly from the west coast of Africa. So I it's very strange. And then to minimize it as a chick flick, like, come on. This is not Legally Blonde. And I have no problem with Legally Blonde, but this is obviously not that. So to relegate it as a chick flick is just really disgusting. And you know, Dr. Boyce Watkins, I he really showed his ignorance and his misogynoir, with that statement.
I'm really shocked that he made a statement like this. Someone of his intellect. Because when I first saw it, the first thing I did is like, man, I wonder if And I see the financial Juneteenth, which is you know, that's the title of his page or whatever, and a man of his intelligence, a man that's as well traveled as he is. I think it's mainly problematic because I think we already have this divide, men versus women within our race, which I really wish we didn't, because Lord knows we have so much more battles to fight than fighting a battle within among ourselves. So like you said, to relegate it to a chick flick, it's just, to me, it's short sighted, and it's I think he really missed the mark. Unfortunately, uh, I'll just say it. I think that some black men are threatened by women empowerment, when I think that we all can use that to our advantage to build stronger households, stronger alliances, and things of that nature. Because I didn't I get what I get what he's saying, as far as I guess his issue, which I didn't understand this as well, as far as, I mean, because there's a lot of female representation in that trailer, which I didn't have a problem with, and I didn't even
notice.
He's the first person I know, which was shocking, to make a negative comment about that trailer. And I don't know. Do you think that some men are just threatened by women empowerment and black women's strength?
Yes, without a doubt. But I would like to think that they are the minority. Um, okay, what was that blinking?
To me?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was nothing. Seriously.
Like you said, like this is the only negative comment that I saw. Everybody that I saw, all of the reactions is, you know, if it was anything negative, it was just skepticism as to, how they were going to transition and move forward, after Chadwick Boseman's passing. But then there's not a lot of comic book readers, which I'm not one. However, if you remember from Game of Thrones, I was like on Game of Thrones Wikipedia like after every episode, and I obsessed about it. And I'm the same way about the MCU. And so Shuri is a Black Panther in the comic books. So I did see where some people had a problem with that, only because to them it wasn't how it should be. But apparently in the comic book she really was. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Like, he is just determined to do his thing. Which is amazing. Shout out to him. On a Brian Coogler note, Fruitville Station. He directed that movie, and I saw it once, I'll never watch it again. It was very compelling, So
I haven't seen it.
You don't have to. I mean,
I've heard about it. and from what I heard, I don't think I'll ever see it.
No, and like
I know I need to watch
everybody
it.
I know.
I know now. I will say everybody that I know that's seen it say that they've only seen it once. They say they will never go back and watch it again. So what with everybody seems like so many people told me that I was like, well, shit, I ain't about to watch it at all. Let me just go ahead because I don't. I
It
mean,
was
because
trending.
yeah, I mean, black trauma. We see it enough. We're kind of like desensitized to it these days, in my opinion. So I mean, when I can take a break from it, when I don't have to see it in my face, where it's on the
100%.
news, where we're getting shot down and things of that nature, I'll take a break from it. But I heard that was an excellent movie. I heard it
It
was.
was. It was. Um, it was, and it actually was trending on Twitter. Um, this was like last year, but it, because it was up there, with black trauma movie that you saw and never will see again, and a lot of the top answers were Precious and Fruitville Station,
Oh my
which
god!
I don't ever have to see either one again ever. If I had
Yeah,
to pick one, I would watch Fruitville Station, although I would never want to watch that again. Precious was way too much.
I don't think I've seen Precious in its entirety, but I've seen bits and pieces. But I know Precious enough to know that that's not nothing I'm really putting on my. Hey, I need to go back and watch that shit. Now, I mean, but for some reason, I wouldn't say enjoy, but I watch 12 Years a Slave, Roots, things of that nature. I like watching those for perspective and just to I wouldn't say like watching them, but I can bear watching them because it gives me perspective and it lets me know, even though we got a long ways to go, it lets me know that we have made a whole lot of progress, even though we still have a long ways to go. So that's probably my exception to the whole black trauma movie show type deals. But I will watch a good flick about our show about slavery. And a lot of people disagree, like, oh, you don't need to be watching that stuff. A lot of people get angry watching that stuff, and I get it. But I consider myself a history buff, and I know our history goes far beyond slavery and all that stuff. But to me, those things give me perspective, and those things kind of motivate me, because there's a lot of things that we weren't supposed to be able to do, since we started coming over on the Middle Passage and all that stuff. And it amazes me when racists get annoyed every time they hear first black person, first black person, first black person. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I mean, well, y'all brought us over here. I mean, why you mad? What you mad? Why you mad for? So yeah, that's not going to put a dent. I honestly expect for him, because I think this came out today, right? His comments.
Yeah.
I think he's going to make an apology by the end of the week because people will be on his ass. That's just how I feel. You know how it is. It might not even be genuine. He might have said what he said, but you know how people do stuff for their publicists will say, yeah, you need to go on the record and apologize for this shit. You ain't got to mean it, but you got to put it out there on your social media, at least. It's like you put it out there. What you think on that?
I think that would be nice. From what I have seen from him, he just seems like a dig your heels in kind of person.
Really?
So I'm not sure. If he does, I hope it's like a real genuine apology where he like realizes, where he went left, where he could have went right. But yeah. I'm so we watched me and my kids we watched WandaVision. We watched
Loki.
what was the next one? No, Loki was the third one.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then Loki, which was amazing.
I still gotta watch that.
Oh my god, it's so good. That was my favorite out of three of them. We're gonna binge watch Miss Marvel this weekend. We saw Shang-Chi. We saw
So behind.
we saw um Spider-Man, that movie,
I ain't even seen
and we
Spider-Man
saw
yet.
when we saw the Doctor Strange
Doctor
movie.
Strange.
So we have to go see the Thor movie. But it just I
I'm fucking
love
up. I'm like 4 movies behind.
you are in a TV show. A few.
I'm four. I just you just made me realize I'm 4 movies behind. I haven't seen Black Widow. I haven't seen
Oh,
yeah, I'm behind. I haven't
wow.
seen I haven't seen the last movie I seen was the one that came out after Endgame. Was that Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's the last movie I've seen. But I need you to send me an order because there's a certain order you're supposed to be watching these shits in. Not the movies, but are the movies integrated into the series now? Because that's where my confusion is. Because I like to watch shit in order.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm gonna need you to send
Yes.
me a list of what the fuck I need to
Yes.
be watching. What I specifically need to be watching after Far From Home because I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. Very, very good. I didn't think that Marvel would take it there as far as the racial overtones and all that stuff, but I absolutely loved it. And there's still some people. Matter of fact, the Captain America movie is coming out. I want to say in a couple of years. Me and Sean was talking about it, and people are already complaining that Captain America is black. I mean, this is America, so I mean, I expect nothing less. But I'm looking forward to that. But I need you to send me an order because I need to catch up. I feel like I'm behind the
Yeah,
power curve.
you
I'm
do.
always behind the power curve. I'm always late to the
And
party,
you
but I
don't
need
want
to
to
catch up.
just I know we're all waiting for, Black Panther, but you don't want to just jump there.
Well, see that's what I didn't do, and that's not I wasn't one of them people that started watching Marvel when Black Panther
Yeah,
came out.
no, I
You
know.
you got some people that literally the only Marvel movies they've seen is Black Panther, and the next one they're gonna see is Black Panther 2. So yeah, I need that because I need to catch up. I've been slacking. Um
Shang-Chi is a gorgeous movie.
I hadn't even seen the Eternals. Was that good?
I didn't see the
I'm
Eternals
like
either.
5 movies behind
Apparently,
out
it
of
is
that.
something that
Really
has to be
fucking up.
watched. So I'm glad that you know why I didn't watch it because I saw so many bad reviews.
Yeah,
But
but you
now
got
I
I mean
see that it is needed, for this, new timeline and the buildup of everything. So, oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh
you
my
good?
God, you've missed some really dope shit that is
Yeah, I know.
coming.
I know. I'm a catch up with it. Uh, I've been late to the party. Like I was late to the Game of Thrones party.
No,
But
but you know what's going on, right? Because
as far as
with the different buying of this, buying of that, and all of that.
what?
Never mind, just catch up.
Now I will tell you, it took me a long time to watch WandaVision, but once I got past the slowness in the beginning, that shit was the bomb. The whole concept, once my slow ass catch on to what the fuck was going on, I had to watch that shit all over again just to get better understanding. But yeah, I've started on Loki. I need to close that out because man, it seems like I just get so
Loki
busy.
is so good. Like me and my son, we watched it like, oh no, we had to wait. We had to wait for like the episode to no. We didn't watch the episodes. We waited until the end and then we binge watched. That I would watch that show again because that
But
show is really, really good.
Loki's that good?
To me, yeah. It
I gotta check
was
that out.
that good.
I gotta check that out. But see, when I started watching, I remember when I started watching Marvel. I think it was in 2014. And somebody was I just started watching movies. Like somebody was like, no, you gotta watch them.
That's not true because you are a child of, let's just say, the 80s. I know you watched that Incredible Hulk show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was our introduction to Marvel. I know what you mean, but
right, but what I wanted to do, when somebody told me, hey, you're not gonna really get a full understanding until if you watch them, watch me in order. And this is back before you had these streaming services where you get shit for free. This is when I used to download shit. So I download the movies and I'd watch them in order. And you said something about bad reviews as far as internals. I'm trying to think of a Marvel movie where I really didn't care for it all that much. But I still watched it anyway.
To me, it was Thor. Was it Ragnarok?
Surprisingly enough, Ragnarok is probably top 5 in my I'm weird. Ragnarok is probably top 5.
I can't remember. It might have been that Thor movie.
You talking about the second Thor movie?
It was one of the Thor movies where.
Okay, so there's a total of 4 Thor movies now with the one that just came out, right?
Shucks. Yeah. Love and Thunder.
Yeah, so you got the first one, and you got the second one, and you got Ragnarok, and then you got Love and Thunder. I think the second one was the one that was kind of But then again, I have to look at the lineup real quick.
I just hit the Googles, as your cousin would say.
I'm trying to look. I'm trying to go into these movies to see which ones I really didn't care too much for.
Yeah. It was Ragnarok.
You didn't like Ragnarok?
It's probably one of my least favorites. Like Iron Man 3.
That is unfortunate. Yeah, I didn't care too much for Iron Man 3 either. But I'm trying to see.
Shang-Chi is in my top 3 for sure.
God damn.
You know why? Because it could be a standalone, all its own. I fully expect for, his story to continue to be told. But
how'd you feel about Guardians?
How'd
you feel about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, I like those movies.
I thought you know what I thought? Before I started watching Marvel, I thought I wasn't going to like Guardians of the Galaxies. I thought I wasn't going to like any of the Thors.
Mm-hmm.
But dope. All dope. There's one movie I'm trying to remember that I really didn't care too much about. I don't think it was the Ant-Man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm getting mad that I'm not. Oh, at least I got a little order that I can go through for these movies. I see one on here.
Yes.
Because I need to watch Black Widow, Shang-Chi. I need to watch that as well. I didn't think I'd like the Doctor Strange either, but that was dope as well.
A lot of people said that they don't like it, which is strange to me because he's definitely not my favorite superhero, but just the imagination aspect of it. Like what? You know what I mean? Like who would think of something like that? This character, this person, and these people who have the ability to like change, perceptions and it's just, oh yeah, the What If series, yeah.
I ain't seen that either. I got Disney Plus and a lot of this shit I ain't seen yet. That's a damn shame. I need to get on my game, man. I'll make confession. Here's my biggest issue. I like watching shit I've already seen before. You know what I was watching before we got on? Martin. I didn't see Martin like 5,000 times.
I started watching Game of Thrones again for like the 150th
so did I. But I feel like I need to watch it leading up to House of Dragons
next month.
That's coming up. That's coming up real quick too. I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah, I'm like rewatching it, trying to like trying to like hold on to like the names of like, you know, the just the important Targaryens that they talked about in the show.
You know what? You know what's funny though? Every single time I rewatch Thrones, I find something new, and I think to myself, like, I know I'll be locked in when I'm watching this. How am I just seeing that? How am I just figuring that out? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. That happened to
So
me the other
because
day,
I didn't
actually.
want because I didn't want to end it on a negative, I just thought we talk about Marvel, but I didn't want to end it off. Like I said, I think he'll come with an apology, whether it's sincere or not. Who knows? And this was I don't know why, but it seemed like we breezed through this one for some reason.
Look at Remy back there bugging out. For
This is
everybody
not
who can't see,
you're just
or will be listening to this later on, Stax has Higher Learning playing in the background, and Remy has gone full on Nazi or skinhead,
that
rather.
indoctrination of Remy was it was quick and it's funny and to me that's what's going on that's what's going on all over America. I hate to get on this kick, but the guy from The Office, I forgot his name. He's a famous comedian, the black guy.
Ah,
Um,
he's in that show on Peacock now.
yeah,
Killing.
he's taken off since The Office. But I wanna what the hell is his name?
He let's hit the Googles. He sang that Dunder Mifflin song when they yeah.
Craig Robinson. Yeah, Craig
Yeah.
Robinson was having a let me see what his comedy show was, because recently he was in the news because he was at North Carolina Comedy Club and the club got evacuated because it was an active shooter threat.
Mm.
And I don't know if I'm over analytical, but when I hear about stuff like that, because I was thinking about this when Black Panther was being released, like, there's going to be black people gathering in mass for Black Panther, and I don't know what it is, and it's not my fault; it's America's fault. But I always think that there's going to be some racist, some white supremacist that's going to take that opportunity.
Well,
Because movie theaters soft targets to try to harm
we're
people.
not gonna. I hear what you're saying. We're not gonna conjure that up.
Yeah, yeah, but I hate to bring it up, but that's what happened at this comedy club that he was going to perform at. But there was a hint of a active shooter. Apparently, he was stopped, or I don't know. It's just a crazy world we're living in. But I don't want to go off on a tangent because that's a whole nother pod. But great show, short and sweet. Before we get up out of here, go ahead and give us your parting shots.
Here we go with the loud. I one day I'm gonna.
What is it?
I saw something like a couple months ago, and I'm not making I'm not making light of mental illness, real mental illness, but it said something about wanting your car to sound faster than it really is a mental illness. And there is a
Damn.
lot of it in Philly. Like, why are these loud cars in style right now? It's so annoying.
I hate that shit. Triggers my PTSD. When I hear loud noises, I be thinking about fucking incoming and some shit like that. But yeah, I've never gotten it. Hey, I guess each your own. But that was your part in charts. So you just got sidetracked.
No, I just got sidetracked. We talked about a lot, even though it went quickly. But
Yeah, dude.
so Beyonce, 29th. Um, somebody had said that the City Girls had had pushed their album back because it was slated to drop the 29th. I dig it. But I'll be looking for that album to drop as well eventually. I do love them too. Emmett Till, man, lock that bitch up. But everybody go watch that Black Panther teaser. It is gorgeous. Oh my God. And if the movie is, I mean, the first one was stunning. And so if the movie, which I'm sure it will be, is half as gorgeous as that teaser, then like, my God, the use of colors in those movies, and just, man. And when you hear Ryan Coogler, when you listen to him talk about how about like how he and his, like how, like, there was that scene when they went to that not a casino, but like the auction house or whatever. And then he had them like line up, like one was wearing the red dress, and then I think T'Challa was in black, and then what's her face was in green, and that stood for, then he talking about it, and then he pointed that out, that it's RBG, the Pan African.
Oh, Pan African flag. Okay.
Like, yeah, and so like it's just little things like that he puts in the movie, and it's so I can't wait to see what he does.
That's awesome. So, where can we find our pods? I need to up. I was real busy. I got some pods. I gotta upload the pods from last week. But tell the people they can find our pods.
Hey, I don't know about the Google thing. I'm sorry. And this is not a shot to
Droid people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna leave them behind. They got, Google Podcasts, and I think it's another one named Stitcher.
And then
Amazon too.
And then there is the Guys podcast on the iPhone, the Apple podcast.
Yeah, that's where you can find our pods. I got some. I'm behind as far as downloading. But my part shot, huh?
Uploading.
You know what I meant. Come on now. So, shout out to the entire Guys podcast team. I'm not naming off everybody's fucking name. You know who you are. Shout out to YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Shout out to everybody listening on the channel on Stitch. It's on the network that we have. Shout out to everybody that's viewing us on on Blackjack TV channel 199. And I don't know how I forgot about our listeners out there on 1 Mile High Radio. That's been fucking with us heavy for the longest time. I failed to shout y'all out at the beginning of the show. And the last shout out I want to give is to my little brother, Brandon, who hit the big 4-0 on yesterday. So happy belated birthday to that brother. I know he's living it up. I think that's about it. Okay, before we get up out of it, though, I almost forgot.
Oh, the other brown shirt. That's all I was gonna say.
So before we get up out of here, of course, we got to line up the rest of the week. This is just starting out the week. That Merv and Tazon are going to do their thing tomorrow and go over episode 8 of P Valley. And Wednesday, we got the Wednesday pod that's coming. We don't know what's coming, but it's gonna be some hot fire. Still stay tuned. So as always, we blessing y'all every Monday. This Monday you get me and Nick. Next Monday you get, Nick and Mark. Shit, a couple Mondays from now you might get all three of us. You might get additional people. Mondays is about to be popping. Believe you me. Monday's about to be popping. We're gonna starting this week off right for y'all. But anywho, we're gonna go ahead and get back. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 8. Merv and Tazon, to do their thing and go over P Valley. I think that's it, Nick. Y'all have a good one. Peace.